show. This is our comedy routine. Sorry, that's the best joke I've got today. Happy Valentine's Day to you all. Thank you for joining us for our February Ojo Pro Plus partner webinar. Uh, we got a we're expecting quite a few more than are here, so we'll give everybody another minute to join. Oh man, Garza, you started the cascade. Heller piled on. If you are here, jump in chat. Tell us where you're joining us from. Make sure this thing's on. Make sure that we can hear you. These are way more fun when they're interactive because only I think I'm funny most of the time. Um, Look at that. New Jersey, Lancaster, Encinitas, California, Hawaii. It's still early in Hawaii. It's like 9 a.m. or something over there. That's great. Thanks for joining. Tucson, Austin, Libertyville, Granite Bay, Ellington. Cool. Almost to 100. All right. I'm going to spill the beans a little bit on something here, and you're going to want to pay attention because this is your chance to win a thing. Today, we give away merch every time we do one of these. We're going to tell you who won the merch last time. We're going to have another merch Facebook thing. But we want to incentivize you to get your teams on this webinar. So for today, we're going to have a merch box drop. And the way we're going to determine who gets the merch box, which this is like a plethora, a veritable cornucopia of Ojo merch that will be sent to your team. And the team that will get this cornucopia of Ojo-ness and Movoto-ness will be the team that has the most people on in attendance and registered today. So if people have not, like if you didn't send it out to your team and didn't register, you have 55 minutes to tell them, like, hey, join this webinar so we can all get some Ojo Movoto swag. I want to see what this merch cornucopia looks like. And I see the anxiety on Jenna's face, which is great because she's like, hey, we're going to send like a little box of merch. And I've like overhyped it as a cornucopia. It's going to be amazing. It better have a Thanksgiving turkey in it. It's going to be perfect. Ojo flip flops and trucker caps. Yeah, they're going to be flat bills. We're going to get you guys flat bill in it. It's going to be great. Cool. All right. It's 5 after. We got 100 people. We're going to rock and roll. For those that I don't know, my name is Jeremiah Taylor. I'm the Chief Real Estate Officer here at Ojo/Movoto. You are going to hear us talk about Movoto more and more and more, by the way. So just know that. We'll talk a little bit today about what that is. We've got a great panel for you today. Kind of give you a run of show is, we're going to talk about anchoring again. We're going to listen to some call recordings. We're going to give you a couple updates on some changes we're making in the back end. We're going to play a little bit of Would You Accept This Lead because some of you haven't seen my favorite game show called Would You Accept This Lead, aka Do You Hate Money or Not? We're going to go over the leaderboard, give you some top performing teams. We're going to introduce a new leaderboard and a loser board for the top and the bottom ranked teams today. And I just called it a loser board. Maybe that's a thing. Maybe that's like not cool to call it a loser board, but that's what it's called now. And then we're going to tell you how you can win merch in the Facebook group, and then Chris is going to do a panel. So, Mr. Heller, anything you want to throw on at the beginning, or you want me to just rock and roll?
No, we're excited that you guys are here. We appreciate you participating in this. We know that every time you do, whether you admit it or not, you walk away with a lot of value, and we'll make sure that happens again today.
That's great. That's great. Thanks, Chris. Okay, cool. So, look, we're going to just like come out strong with some best practices. At Ojo, internally, we listen to an inordinate amount of calls. We're talking to hundreds of thousands of consumers a month. We are pulling those calls. We're listening to how the agents interact with those consumers. And so we want to just continue to share best practices, scripts, dialogues, things like that that are going to help you be more successful. So somebody give me a thumbs up. Can y'all see that screen on my screen? All right, thanks, Jenna. So let's talk about a couple of things here. Number one to remember, when somebody goes on Movoto.com, Movoto.com, or they go in the Movoto mobile app, you should go use these digital tools because it will help you understand what these consumers are seeing. They're going to fill out a form. We're going to call them within seconds. The majority of people answer on that first call if they're going to answer. We have a quick conversation with them where we ask, hey, we see you filled out a form. Do you want to talk to an agent? Are you committed to or in contract with an agent? No. Okay, great. We're going to get an agent on the line. And we bring you in. At that point, you have to remember, we've just like, yes, they filled out a lead form. Yes, we call them fast, but we don't always get them right away. Sometimes it's later in the day, sometimes it's the next day. So you want to treat most of these calls like these are prospecting calls. So what I mean is, when I was an agent and I was like in production full time, I called expireds every morning. So when I would get to my office, I'd have like my expired list, I'd have my Vulcan 7 dialer up, and I was ready. And I was like, I'm a great salesperson. Woohoo, I'm gonna call these people. And I'd call like, when are you gonna hire the right agent to help you sell your house? Right. All the things that we do when we're prospecting. What I hear a lot on these calls is we have the consumer on the phone. We're great. We're gonna bring this great agent on the line. When we get the agent on the phone, and then the agent comes and they're like, oh, that's great. Yeah, hey, that's great. Yeah, bring me on. And then we say like, hey, this is this great agent. They're going to help you. And then the first thing the agent does is they go, hang on. Sorry, hang on. Like somebody's getting in the car right now. Sorry, it's connecting to Bluetooth right now. Oh, sorry, I'm at McDonald's. And they're like in the middle of something else. And it's like this afterthought. So like step one, set yourself up for success. Know that this is an outbound prospecting call that we just made on your behalf. And we are joining you into an outbound prospecting call. One of the things that I showed the last time is kind of this thought of like anchoring, right? I know it's goofy, and it feels weird, but if you just give yourself this like, hey, it's Ojo time, it'll anchor you to that mindset of like, I'm here, I'm dialed in, I need to have my game face on, because in that first 20 seconds of the call, you're going to make or break the opportunity with how you hit that first 20 seconds. We're going to play some calls for you here in a second. When you listen to these, what you will hear is that like almost immediately you can determine, is this agent going to have a shot at getting this piece of business, or is there just no chance? And it's in the first 10 or 15 seconds. So you guys want to start with a good one or a bad one? Give me like a thumbs up if you want to start with a good one, or a thumbs down if you want to start with a bad one. Oh, you guys are sadists. You want the bad one first. Here we go.
This is Maya from, well, you do know, I do have Dia on the line who specializes in these area. I will be hopping off to allow you to speak. So please hold while I connect you. And we will give you a follow-up to make sure you got everything you needed. Thank you, everyone.
Hello and good morning, guys. I'm a local team member here. How's everyone doing?
Good, thank you.
Good, I'm glad to hear. So I see here you are inquiring about the possibility of listing your property. Is that correct?
No, that's not. You called me.
Oh, hey. What's the, so just so I can get a better understanding, you're selling a property, is that right?
The property is available for sale, yes.
Okay. And is it currently listed with a realtor right now?
No, I will.
Okay, so to set the framework here, we sent the agent a text. We said, we have a seller. They're on the phone. They're looking for a cash offer for their property. We called. We said to the agent, hey, we have a seller on the line. They're looking for a cash offer on their property. I'm going to patch you in. He said, great, let's go.
Will not list.
You will not list it with the realtor, or you have not listed it yet?
I will not list with the realtor.
Okay. Okay. So how may I assist you then?
I don't know. You called me.
Oh, great question, because I was called. So I guess they called you and they called me, so we can speak to one another. But yeah, thanks for your time, guys. Doesn't seem like you need our assistance. It was actually a pleasure connecting with you guys. If you ever want to list a property, feel free to give us a call, and we'll be glad to assist.
I have about 10 realtors chasing me right now.
Oh, yeah. Well, sounds like you're in good hands. It sounds like you're good to go, ma'am.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks for your time.
Thoughts, feedback?
Wow.
Because look, no judgment. This is the
Just
Planet Fitness of
wow.
real estate. Like there's not a judgment zone. This is a training opportunity. Okay. The reality is this: all of us failed at setting the agent that was taking that call up for success. They did not know what to do with the lead that their team leader paid for. They didn't know how to approach the cash offer lead. The team leader didn't set the routing selection so that the cash offer lead went to the right person that knows what to do with it. Now, here's what I'll tell you. The agent was clearly frustrated. That agent is going to call their team leader. They're going to be like, dude, what's up? These OJ leads, they're whack. These people don't even want to talk to me about listing a house. They just want to sell their house to an investor for cash. That's like the doom loop that we get into is when we don't train, set the right expectations, and stay on top of it as a team leader, we get things like that. So number one, make sure that you log into your OJ settings and that you set your agents up for the cash offer leads to go to the right agents that know how to work them. Okay, that's number one. Number two, when you get a cash offer lead, it's the same Connect, Set, Learn framework. Great, I understand you're looking for a cash offer on your property. When can I come see it? Well, I want to know what you're going to pay. That's a great question. I'll make sure that's the first thing we talk about when I get there is what we'd be willing to pay. And obviously you can understand, I just need to take a look at the property before I'm able to get you a price. Super simple, right? Just like go to the house, meet them, shake their hand, be a human. Working cash offer leads is very much the same as working for sale by owner leads. It's not if they will list, it is when they will list. And the last agent standing wins. Chris, anything you'd add on that one?
Yeah, so I'm going to talk to you guys just as a fellow team owner and agent. We've been generating and buying cash offer leads on my team since 2019, January 2019. Very common for this to be the situation, right? Someone's trying to sell their home. They find out they can get a cash offer they want. When we get those calls or we make those calls, hey, I understand you're looking for a cash offer on your property. When can we come over and take a look at it and be able to provide you with what you're looking for? You know, it's Thursday or Friday, but just get the appointment. You go to the appointment, you present them the cash offer, you present them, and you talk to them, you find out their situation, find out, you know, their motivation, where they're going, why they're going. And sometimes you discover that that's really not a cash offer that they're looking for. They're looking for just an easy sale because their last one was a nightmare, or they're worried about the condition of their home and they don't think it's presentable. And you can provide them with a solution for that. But you got to get the appointment, and then you have to have a conversation, like Jeremiah said. Many of these turn into listings. Some of them turn into cash offer opportunities, which are great because either you're going to buy it and have an investment property or sell it for a profit, or you're going to bring in a cash offer solution from a company like Zudilio or Open Door or whomever's in your marketplace and be able to fulfill what they want and get paid.
Right. Okay. Let's go to the other direction and listen to one that is more aligned with kind of the framework that we coach. And let's see here. I'm going to hit play on this one. Can you all hear that?
Hi, Chris. How are you doing today? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I'm good, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So I see, Chris, you're interested in a property located at Greystone Boulevard. What day and
Yes.
time works best for you to view this home?
I was looking to view it on the 4th,
Okay.
maybe in the
Gotcha.
afternoon sometime.
Okay, sure. Is there a certain time in the afternoon that works best for you, or?
Maybe around like 2 o'clock.
Okay, gotcha. So Wednesday at 2. And tell me a little bit more about what you're looking for in a home, Chris.
We're looking for a home in this Davenport area. I'm still looking at different areas to look at. Really, just preliminary stages of looking for a place to call home. This is really it.
Oh.
I don't have much particulars right now. I'm just trying to fill it out and look at different options.
Understandable. Nope, I completely understand. And that's what we're here for. We're here to, try to guide you and get you to where you want to be. So that's okay if you don't know exactly, what you're looking for just yet. Okay, so Wednesday at 2, Davenport. Okay, no, you got it, Chris. So give me a few moments. What I'll do is I'm going to schedule the showing for Wednesday around 2. I'll send you a list of other properties with similar characteristics. And then I will get right back in contact with you.
That sounds great.
All right, my friend. Well, we look forward to assisting you. I'll talk to you again soon.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Chris. You're welcome.
Bye.
All right. You heard like an actual moment of delight at the end. The consumer is like, oh, thank you. Right? That's every single one of these calls, by the way, they start at a 10. They start with a consumer that is, They answered the phone and they're kind of open-minded. Whatever happens next, whether they go up or down from there is up to us, right? Let's talk about what the agent did well. They were like super positive. They were in a good spot. It was really easy to understand. They made sure they repeated back to the customer some of the things that they said. They went straight to, when do you want to see the house? They didn't try to like figure it out on the fly. They said, great, let me schedule that showing. They said, what's going to happen next? I'm going to be back in touch with you. Those things are all really good, right? Anything else that that agent did really well that you all want to call out, throw it in chat. Love the repeat of the name, love the excitement in her voice. Yeah, for sure. Feel reassured listening to this person. They're lovely. That's great. That's what we're here for. That's what they were looking for. Offered more properties. Yeah, overall, like very good call. Couple techniques that I would, if I was coaching this agent, I would say, look, leverage that keyword backtrack. When you heard the consumer on that call say, I'm looking for a place to call home, you heard her pace change, you heard her tonality change, and you heard her inflection change. That means she anchored emotion to the phrase, a place to call home. The agent had a huge opportunity to say, you know what, I'm so excited to help you find a place to call home. Don't underestimate the power of the keyword backtrack and use it as a tool. Another thing that I think could have been great is just a little bit more clarity on like, here's what's going to happen next. I'm going to send you a list of other properties. That's great. I'm going to send you a list of other properties that we can tour while we're touring this other one. Maybe that's a little bit better. Anything else you all would throw in there of like, hey, you could plus it by doing these things. I think that call was really good, by the way. No plussing it. Y'all are just like deadpan. It was great. It was perfect. Okay. That's good.
I mean, if I could just throw out there maybe one other thing that I'd notice is and please correct me if you guys disagree, but I also think the tonality could come across as disingenuous if it's too positive and too on the up.
Sure.
And I think maybe just being cautious of how that other person may be reacting to that, matching, nearing that a little bit more.
Yeah.
But overall, it was again, very pleasant call.
Yep. Yeah. I Adam, I agree with you. I think in this case, it was really good. I think she was close to like, did she overuse the name? Did she overuse the enthusiasm? It was close. I think she's really good, but I hear what you're saying. Like a couple more Chris's in there, and it could have felt disingenuous, right? It like you go from I know your name and I'm repeating it to you to like this is a weird sales tactic that you keep saying my name every time you start a sentence. I hear you. Anything else? Any other feedback? All right. Do these help? Like, give me a thumbs up if these are helpful, or like, give me one of these if you're like, yeah, it's entertainment. Okay, I see more thumbs up other than Shane. Shane gave me the wiggle. That's all good though. Cool. All right, I appreciate it. Thanks, y'all. All right, let's keep going. I want to get to our panel. I got a couple more slides before I get there. Hang on, I put something in the middle of my screen. Now I can't see what's coming next. It's scary because I'm clicking things I don't know what's coming next. Look, these are just some best practices. You all know this. Like your smile comes through on the phone, be enthusiastic and friendly, bring the energy. But then to Adam's point, mirror match the energy if the energy needs to come down. One of the best things you can do is when you're done, just shoot a video text like, hey, it's Jeremiah. Just want to put a face to a name. So excited to meet you Wednesday at 2:00. Thanks so much. Look forward to talking to you soon. Like super simple. It works great. Helps people connect with you, know what you look like, all that stuff. I think these are all really good things. All right, we're going to get tactical for just a minute. And within 5 minutes or less, we'll bring our panelists on. So Jen, if you can start to find them. And if you're one of our panelists, start to be ready. Number one, I want you to know this. When you get a lead and the lead's name is like Brian Unknown, or it's just his email address, or the lead doesn't have an address, don't misinterpret that to mean that this is a different quality of lead. It's funny, I was talking to my team about this, and Mark just said, he's like, hey, funny enough, I just sold a home to Dave Unknown. And like he closed the transaction with him. This is an Ojo tech problem that we are going to fix that is causing you to see unknown names. We are testing different lead forms Some of them only ask for a first name. Some only ask for a last name. In the call center, we are getting the person's name and we're saving it in our tools. We just haven't connected the technology to push that through to you. I'm sorry. I know it's really annoying. I know it creates like a weird thing in the agent's head when they see unknown as a name. We will fix it. I don't know when. It'll get fixed eventually. But if you all could please cascade this message to your agents of like, they don't actually not know this person's name. They talked to them on the phone, most likely, and they got their name. It's just a tech bug that they're not connected yet. It will get fixed. Now, same with the address. A lot of times on these addresses, when you get a property that has no address, that's because a customer either just filled out a form that's like, hey, I'm looking for an agent, and they're not actually looking for property, which in my opinion might even be a better lead than somebody looking at a specific home. It's just somebody that wants to talk to an agent. It could also be we've started to put more inbound phone numbers on our website. So people can now just call straight into our call center and say like, yeah, I'm looking to buy a house in Davenport, Illinois, or wherever it is. And there is no specific property tied to that. So just know, like when your agents are getting these, if you all can please cascade the message to them so they understand if the name is unknown or some gobbledygook, there's a reason we're sending it over. We verified it's a valid phone number. Most likely we've talked to the person on the phone. We now tell you like, these are live transfers. They're on the phone. Please answer it. These ones are follow-up later, etc. So know that. Next thing is there's concierge notes that these are coming out to you. Most of these go to the agent that is assigned to the consumer as an SMS. As a team lead, you have access to these in your Yeti dashboard. Just check these, check out, see what they're looking like. Like make sure you're scanning them regularly. The most common thing that I see that just drives me bananas is agents said they would and they didn't. Insert whatever they said they would do and whatever they didn't do. That is your money getting lit on fire, our money getting lit on fire, because we get a consumer, we do all the work, we connect into the agent. The agent's like, great, yeah, let me check on that property for you. I'll get back to you tomorrow. And then they forget. Life happens. We all forget. Luckily, our concierge tries to like close that gap on the back end, and we'll text them and nudge them. And some accountability from you all with your teams will help you a lot. Okay, so if you don't know where to find it, I saw your note, Amy. It's in your Yeti Dash. Ask your success manager. They can help you all get into it. Given timing, I'm sorry, I'm gonna skip my favorite game because I want to get to our panel. But here's the point of the game. People come in and they click on $49,000 properties and they buy $330,000 houses. They click on $565,000 properties, they buy $1.5 million houses, 6 to 1.2, and then they'll click on something for 2.3 and buy a lot for 150 grand, or maybe they'll buy 3 of them. These are all real scenarios. So when we send you all a lead, make sure you are telling your agents, like, don't misinterpret that one price of that one listing we send to be like anything relevant to what the consumer actually wants. A lot of times it is, yes. And when you say no to those, you may be inadvertently saying no to a big opportunity. I'm gonna share our leaderboard. So there's kind of two buckets on here. At the top, these are the teams that are closing the most deals across the country. So at the top, you got Stephen Cooley with 15 deals in contract and closed. Second is Lamakia with 14, LPT's at 12, and then we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-way tie for 12 of the Perna team, Chucktown Homes, the Expansion Group, Bachman, and LPT with 12 deals closed. That's tremendous. I love seeing that. And keep in mind, this whole program is still 10 months old. So for a team to have joined in the last 10 months and they're already pacing better than a deal a month, that's good. Do we want it to be more? Yes. Will it be more? Yes, because we know, like with Steven's team, with Anthony's team, like we're talking to them, we know you all have people that are like waiting for rates to come down, waiting for that right house to come on the market, and there will be more that pops. We have to do a good job staying in front of those consumers and the agents so that they win. And then as promised, we're starting to publish conversion rates for some of the older cohorts of leads. Some of these are wildly high, like the fact that they sold 4 houses out of 25 leads is crazy to me. But that's great. I would say some of that might be like they got a little lucky, but let's let's call it good. All of our top 10 teams at this point are above 7.5% conversion. And again, a lot of these are still really new relationships, and these numbers will just keep growing with time. So I noticed my team is not on this list, and they are on this call. So, like, come on, let's go. We used to be at 8% on Ojo leads. Like, we got to get back there because we need to be back on the leaderboard. But congratulations to all of you. Novak Masseri, the Soulish team, Amy Wasser, Morello, Mike Quayle, Sweet Group, Janet Cardell, and RST. Like, y'all are doing great. You'll notice, like, the showing homes rates as they go up, the closing rates go up. There is a correlation there. The key is just in the nurture and getting those deals done. We know that it's been tough in the winter. And I do think we're seeing signs of life that it is easing up a little bit. So make sure y'all stay with it. This is a new one we're going to show you. And I jokingly called this the loser board. It's not the loser board. It's the opportunity board. Okay. The left side, this is live transfer success rate. This is the one thing that is like 100% in you and your agent's control. What this means is we had the customer on the phone. We sent a text out to everybody on your team that covers that zip code. Did they successfully say yes to the text and answer the call and take it as a live transfer? Or did they take too long, decline it, or not answer the call or something so that that live customer on the phone got told, hey, sorry, I don't have an agent and they're going to have to call you back. Those live transfers, when they are successful, obviously you have momentum, things keep rolling, they convert better if you do that. And so we have a bunch of teams, top 25, y'all are almost all at 100%. That's amazing. Your success managers are going to keep driving this with you. The teams on the right, like, if they these are single digits or zeros, etc., like, that means y'all's agents have checked out. And so we should either like call a timeout, we should put new agents on, like, let's reset together. Because this isn't a win-win. It needs to be a win. Like, it's got to be a win-win. Like, we need agents engaged, we need them plugged in, we got to get this number as high as possible. And also, it's just bad form for the consumer for us to like go through all this work to phone call them, get them on the phone, set an expectation, then just say like, hey, sorry. And by the way, if your agents aren't taking the live transfers, they aren't following up with the leads either. So your success managers are talking about this. We're going to keep publishing this list. We will show like most improved in this list because there are some of you. In fact, I think maybe one of our panelists today, like, once we started really talking about this, like, live transfers weren't great. They got with their team, they made some changes, and like, boom, through the roof. And what do you know? Like, showing, offer. That's momentum, is how you win in this business, is getting in front of people, getting those showings, and getting offers out. I'm almost there. One more minute. Last time we said comment on this thread. Everybody commented, a bunch of people commented. Ray Allen Lewis was the winner. Ray, if you haven't already gotten your merch, you should be getting your merch. So in addition to us polling who has the most team members on and sending you the merch cornucopia, you can go, you can comment, you can get engaged. Ash just posted this today. Happy Valentine's Day. Go comment and engage with us. And Ash will pick a winner from this. I think she probably picks like the funniest comment. How Ash picks, I'm sure it's very altruistic, but I would pick the funniest comment. So be funny. Have fun. Chris, I'm done with my part. I talked a lot, and I'm going to let you take over and bring Amy and Eric on, and I'll let you introduce them, and Jenna will spotlight everybody, and I'm going to stop sharing.
All right. Well, yes, I was just dawned on me that we have the Ohio panel today because we have Amy Weingart from Canton and Akron area of Ohio. Amy's been in the business for over 25 years, runs a great business, understands what it takes to achieve a high level. And we have Eric with his team. Eric, you're in, correct me if I'm wrong, you're in the Cincinnati area.
Southwest.
What's that?
Southwest Ohio, Cincinnati and Dayton. Yep, that's right.
Okay, Cincinnati and Dayton, Southwest. Got it. You both have what I would call like medium-sized teams. Amy, I think you have 8 or so agents. Eric, I think yours is a little bigger, 10, 12. But just to give everyone an idea of who they're going to be hearing from today. I want to start off with something that Jeremiah talked about, one of the last things he talked about, which is live transfers, right? When we know that those convert at a higher level, for one obvious reason is you're connected immediately. Where if it's a non-live transfer, you may never connect, right? You're going to try and they just going to keep calling, or your ISA is going to keep calling, but some of those just fall through. So we know there's a big advantage, and the teams that have the highest closing percentages and are having the best ROIs are the ones that are getting the most live transfers. What do you guys do? Eric, I'll start with you first. What do you do to ensure that you guys aren't missing any of those, or minimizing the opportunity to miss any of those live transfers?
Yep, that's a great question. Amy probably should be the one talking to this. She's got the 100% rate, right? But we've dramatically increased ours. It kind of faltered for a while, and I think it's a combination of three things, Chris. One, it's accountability. Like, I'm watching that like a hawk now. And by the way, so is my success manager. I got a text from her the other day. Hey, you guys missed one over the weekend, and like, I don't love those texts, but I appreciate she does that. So accountability is one piece. We've put a huge focus on training. And then, part of it too is we're up to 17 team members now. And they're not all on Ojo leads, but I found that more agents within reason, more agents getting those opportunities, they compete for them a little more. They're watching for them more. They know that they're a little more scarce per agent. And so they're more aggressive in going after them. That's what I've seen anyway.
Yeah. And I think one of the things you said is really important, right? If we make this as an opportunity versus something they're entitled to or right to, like, really, the teams that I see achieving at the highest level, create this as an opportunity for the agents, not a foregone conclusion they're going to get. And they have to earn their way on. They have to earn their way to stay on.
Yeah.
Amy, you guys do a great job at, making sure you grab those calls. Anything that you're doing different or special, or just that you focus on that helps you do that so well?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, our team knows that the better our numbers are in general, the more opportunities we will get. So I'm constantly kind of reminding them about that. And we have a really high-tech system we put in place for this. Most people on this call probably can't afford this system. So when an Ojo lead comes in, I yell in the office. Yeah, I know it's super high tech, but yeah, it's just, we all have different ringtones for our Ojo leads. And so I know when it's Ojo, I know when it's something else. So if I'm in the office, it's literally Ojo, and I watch to see who's grabbing it. If nobody grabs it, I'm grabbing it. I'm on there as well, so that I know when something is going through and coming in. So that really makes a big difference. And then when I know that it's coming in and I can see who's grabbing it, because we're all using Google Chat. Hey, got Ojo. Now I know the agent who's claimed it. Now I can watch their dashboard to make sure that they've updated the dashboard promptly as well. So nothing crazy. But yeah, just being hyper vigilant and super aware of the leads coming in and the timing, and that the better our numbers are, the more opportunities we'll get in the future.
Yeah. So what I hear you saying is, like, and you use the word, it's accountability. Like, you're in the game, you're focused on it. I was going to say, Jeremiah, let's make sure no leads get sent to Amy's team during this call so we don't hear her scream. But then I thought maybe we
No.
No,
Yeah, I want to
please.
see it. I want to see it live.
I'm waiting. That would be
I
perfect.
think we want to see it, right? Like, we do want to see it. So
That'd be perfect.
But I think and both of you are demonstrating this on what you say, and I know you're demonstrating what you do, because we see the results. There's a lot of teams on this call where the team leader or the sales manager or whomever actually doesn't even know that they're missing live transfers, right? They're that far detached from what's happening. And without, it's 100% conclusive, we see this, that the teams that are the most engaged, have the most accountability or most focus, are really getting in there, are the ones that are having the best success. the leads are leads, right? Whether they're on Zillow or Movoto, and whether they're in Akron or Tulsa or anywhere else, right? The leads are the leads. It's how we handle them that determines whether we're going to be successful or not. So anyway, thank you both for sharing that. Let's talk about, another piece of this, which is accountability, right? So your agents get that live transfer, they connect with that consumer. Hopefully they have an appointment, show them. What's it look like after that? Like, what are you doing to ensure that you maximize every one of those opportunities? And I'll let either of you that want to go first go.
Go ahead, Amy.
Well, yeah, I mean, it basically is making sure, yes, everybody has claimed it, opened and claimed it. It's not just did one person get it and who got it.
Sorry, I just couldn't
It's
hear, and the
making-
lady was, oh, no.
Oh, sorry.
All right, that's okay.
So it's making sure that everyone has claimed it. Even though somebody may put in the chat that, hey, I got Ojo, then there's a reminder chat sent out like, hey, make sure everyone else claimed that, even though Chris got it, or even though Sarah got it, whatever that is. Just so we can, again, keep those numbers high. And then of course it's checking that dashboard, and then it's watching it drop into our CRM. And I mean, it's literally our theme this year is just holding everyone accountable to every lead that we are paying for. And in our market right now, I mean, it's tough. So my philosophy is I'm not going to keep paying for them if we're not going to take care of them properly, because that's just not how we do business. So yeah, it's then checking our CRM and making sure like, hey, I can see that you called. I can see you had the conversation. I can see you set the follow-up. I can see what you're doing, your notes, blah, blah, blah. It's really what we do with every other lead source that we have. And then it's staying in close contact with our success manager, Emily, who we love, who is always giving me tips and tricks on, hey, how about you revisit your inactive leads that you have? You have 250 of those that your agents have marked as inactive. We've taken that group now and use it as a whole separate prospecting pond. So, because yeah, we may not have been able to reach them for a couple weeks, but now we can. So, I mean, there are a lot of different tools, whether it's Emily, our success coach, or, the concierge and details, making sure that when we're notifying concierge, we're putting all of the notes that we know about and that we have about that client in the app, so that when concierge is reaching out, they know exactly how to overcome some objections, or depending on what the client says, they have a response because they know what we've done or said.
Awesome. I love it. It's a lot of back to basics and like just operating the business like a business should be operated. Eric, how about you? What do you have to add?
So we've really doubled down, Chris, on our training the last, I don't know, 2 months maybe or so, and it's showing great returns for us. So I've gone to great pains. I mean, I had to look at it and go, this is a couple months ago, we're doing fine with Ojo, but fine's not why we do this. We're after, achievement, doing really well. And so I just looked at it and said, I think we need to rethink how I'm training our people, and just realizing I need to do a better job because these leads need to be handled a certain way. So we created a whole training program around that, and we constantly are reinforcing that. And then on the accountability side, I have a VA that every Wednesday morning, so this morning, she went into We's Follow-Up Bosses, our CRM, and looked for every Ojo lead and who they're assigned to. We have a whole special task that she does for this. And she messages each of the agents saying, hey, you've got 19 Ojo leads and 5 of them haven't been called in the last week, or 5 of them haven't been texted in the last week. And they have to do it every week or they don't get to keep the leads, and they'll lose access to new leads. So it's pretty accountable. They all want them. So, but if they get out of line, she sends that message to them. I see it also, and we use Slack for that. And so the agents know we're watching, and we're not managing them like children. It's not that, but we need more accountability and we need more system to be able to convert these at a higher level. So it's a combination of training and system and accountability, I guess.
Yeah, no, I hear you. And that is and again, we really try to discourage teams that come onto the platform. Like if you aren't going to deal with it at this level, at the level that you guys are dealing with it, the chance for success is minimal, right? And that's not just unique to Movoto, you know, and Ojo, or, you know, it's with Zillow or any other source of leads, right? There's I would argue the biggest cost of teams is conversion and the lack of,
Sure.
and all these things contribute to that. I know training is something you just, as you mentioned, is something you both focus on. What does like the ongoing training look like? Like Amy and your team, is it, I have a sense that probably a lot of it is like in real time. There's a lot of things happening because you're so, you know, in the trenches with everyone. But anything to add to, as far as from a training aspect, so other teams can get some new ideas?
No, you're right, Chris. I think as with any lead that comes in, when it's new, I mean, that's when we have the best chance. So that speed to lead is huge for us because we know the longer we wait, the chances of us connecting or converting that drastically decrease. So that's.
Hey, Amy, hold on one
Sorry
second.
about that.
Hey, everyone else, if you guys can make sure you mute yourselves unless you're coming off to talk or ask a question, we'd appreciate it.
I think.
I'm sorry.
So we have our monthly meeting with Emily with the team so that she can talk directly to them and it's not just me talking to them, which is very helpful. So they can ask questions about the system or how it works or things that they're encountering while they're in the trenches. So that monthly call is important. I have every other week calls with Emily, and then I always do a recap in our chat with the team so that I'm keeping them up to date. I'd like to improve it and I'd love to be on that top 10. We're at least in the top 10% of the Ojo Plus teams. So I like that. And for me, it's not just sharing, hey, you suck on that call. It's, hey, you did really great. Like shout out to so-and-so, shout out to so-and-so. I want to share those successes with the team because the more they hear other people on the team doing really well and converting at a high rate, they know they can do it too. So we don't spend a lot of time on that was a crappy lead or wow, that was worthless. It's like, okay, but we have a lot of other great success stories to share too. So one thing, and analyzing that data on the dashboard. So one thing that Emily shared with me too was, what did she share? I should have written this down. Oh, it was an agent on our team who had claimed a lot of Ojo leads, but was only showing to a very small percentage. So she had claimed over 100 consumers, but the showing rate was minuscule in comparison to the number that she showed. So just like Jeremiah was talking about earlier, we all know that we're not going to sell a house if we're not showing anything. So if we see that low show rate, that's an area to spend some time on as well.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Thank you. Eric, we chatted yesterday briefly and you shared, from a training perspective, you shared something that you put together. And you mentioned it a few minutes ago that you've gone to great lengths, but I don't think people probably understand to what degree you've gone. And I want you to share with everyone what you shared with Amy and I yesterday when we chatted.
Sure, for sure. Are you guys going to share that on the screen, or do you want me to share it? I can. I have it. If you want me to just go ahead and do it, that's fastest. That's cool.
Actually, I can. I think I can. If I have sharing capabilities, let me see. I do. I'll share it for you, so you can just talk to it.
Cool. There you go. So, basically, Chris, what I shared with you guys yesterday was I knew I had to do a better job training our people. Like we do a lot of online lead generation. So we don't just do Ojo. We do Ojo. We've got a lot of Google. We got big Google budgets, big Facebook budgets, that kind of thing. We don't do Zillow and Realtor, but we're generating a lot of leads. And the problem in real estate, I don't think, is lead generation. Like, it's super cool that Ojo generates leads for us. Boomtown can do it. KV Core can do it. Wailopo can. Everybody can generate leads. The magic happens in the conversion. And so we get converted. We convert leads to, we had conversations with them. They told us what they're looking for. We get all excited by that, and that's cool. But what we really, I've stolen this term. I call it the last mile problem. That term comes from the logistics industry, freight, and it doesn't matter what they mean by it. For me, it means we get people that go, yeah, I probably would. I'm ready to, or I'm close to, or I even want to go see a house. That's where the last mile problem starts, in that, how do we get them from they're interested and they probably will even work with us to the closing table? Because if we don't do that, the whole thing's worthless. We should all just be living on a beach, you know, renting beach chairs to people, which I'd probably rather do anyway, but that's beside the point. So I knew I had to do a better job of training our people because we've got a 41,000 person database that there's tons of opportunity in. We could double our business just by doing better with our leads we already have. So I created this training program. This is an overview of it. This was Eric's brain dump. We actually have it in a product called Trainual. It's a learning management software like Kajabi or whatever. Doesn't matter what it's in. But I just went through and started how would I train better? What would we do? And I created this program. It started with, I shot some videos. They're just internal for our team. Chris asked me yesterday if I'd put the links on here. That I got most of them, Chris. I think there's a couple maybe I'm missing, but it should give everybody the gist of what it looks like. And I just it's a training module all our agents have to go through. They can't get Ojo leads and they can't get our ISA leads if they don't complete this training. And it's all just like the basics of like talking to people and following the system and that sort of thing.
Do they do the training on their own, like at their own pace, or is there a certain time frame they need to do it by? How do you
They can do it at their own pace. They do it quickly though. It's actually a problem. They do it too quickly because they want the leads, right? This isn't the part they'll mess around with. They'll go, oh, I did this. You mean you just did it last night? Yeah, I got it. Like, so there's a key thing in here. You'll see at a couple of these spaces, like if I highlight that, there, it's a quiz. So if they watch the video while they're watching Netflix, they weren't really paying attention to my video, they're gonna have a tough time passing the quiz. So they're gonna fail the quiz. I get notified so-and-so failed the quiz, and then you'll see, oh, they actually passed it the second time. So it's just a kind of a speed bump to make them slow down to go through it.
I love it. That was my favorite part. Yeah.
Yeah. Without the quiz, so like that's such a good point. Like without the quiz, this is limited in value.
Yeah, that's great. Hey, I'm gonna put you on the spot. How do you feel about that being shared with all the team leads?
Yeah, no, it's a Google spreadsheet. I mean, I don't know how. I don't know. You guys can send it out or whatever you want to do.
Yeah, we'll handle it. No, don't want it. We'll work on you. We want you focused on converting leads.
Yeah, no, I don't know how I would do it, but you guys feel free to share it. It's just a Google Doc. Share that link or what I'm pretty sure. I know you guys can test it, but I think I set it to anybody can access it as long as they have the link. I don't think it's restricted access or anything.
Yeah.
If it is, let me know and I'll fix it.
Yeah, no, we appreciate that. And that certainly demonstrates obviously your commitment to training, your commitment to the team, and your commitment to being successful. And that goes back to something I said a little earlier, is that I think a lot of us, that have run teams for a long time, we have this goal, which is like to get out of, get out of the trenches and delegate things. And with the right people and at the right times, you can do that. But with certain things that are so fundamentally critical to what you're spending that money on and what return you're getting on that money, you have to stay involved, and the teams that are having the most success are the ones that are most involved.
Yeah, Kristen, I would just add one thing really quick there. And Amy, I'm going to say this in 12 seconds so you can talk. But since we implemented this, and I went back to all our people, made them all go through all of it again. It wasn't just for, the new ones come on. Everybody had to go back through this. Since we did that, we've, I think in the last 4 weeks, we've put 4 Ojo leads, it's either 4 or 5 under contract. So you could say maybe that's just coincidental. We'll see in 6 months, but like, it's pretty good for January and February in Ohio.
Yeah.
Like the weather here sucks.
Yeah.
But we also have 18 people in Follow Boss. We use it pretty specifically. We kind of micromanage it a bit, but we have 18 Ojo leads that are either staged as a active buyer or a hot lead, which means they're ready to go within the next 30 days. So that's a pretty healthy pipeline there. I don't think all that happened by accident, and I didn't do any of it. It's all my agents doing it, but that training gave them better tools to do it.
Yeah, that's great. Amy, I know you wanted to add something.
Eric, you said 12 seconds.
I know, I lied. It was more like 18.
That's it.
I talk too much.
He's going to hate me for doing this, but I happened to see a little screenshot of one of my team members on the call, Chris, and he's fantastic. And believe it or not, for being our top prospector on the team, he is a man of few words. But I was texting him and I said, are you connected to audio? Because I thought if anybody wants to pick his brain, out of our 9 closings, I feel bad, I should know this number, but I have a feeling he's probably closed the majority of those 9. And he's amazing. He's here in the office. He inspires me. He's always just on the phone. It's never, I shouldn't say he's never texting, but he's just always on the phone. It's beautiful to witness.
That's
So
awesome.
sorry, Chris.
So Chris, you want to share anything quickly about either the initial calls, like what your focus or goal is on the initial call, or what the key to follow-up is for you? We'd love to hear that. And yes, we're putting you on the spot. Actually, Amy's putting you on the spot. I can't see him because I can only see you two, so.
Well, maybe he just left when he.
He might have just said, all right, I'm out.
I don't know.
Hopefully he's not going to join Eric soon because you put him on the spot. But Eric will send it back to you. All right, we just got a couple more minutes because I know Jeremiah wants to share a few things to wrap it up. And by the way, if anyone has any questions for Amy, for Eric, put them in the Q&A or put them in the chat and we'll make sure those get answered. I already mentioned it was something I was going to ask Chris was follow-up. Like what's your philosophy on follow-up?
Forever.
That's
literally, I mean it, that sounds overly simplistic and I don't mean to sound sarcastic, but it's like we never stop. We continually, we make way too many dials for most people's blood. Like on our team, we'll probably make 4,000 phone calls this week. We're going to send 2,000 text messages this week. I don't even know how many emails, but like we just keep going forever. We booked a listing appointment. This wasn't an Ojo lead, but we booked a listing appointment yesterday with a lead that came into our system on December 3rd, 2017. If there's no such thing as an old lead. We've been on Ojo for 7 months now, and the best news for me, I'm looking at that going, that means we have 7 months worth of lead. Like the more the better. We're going to be converting. It takes a while with these people. That's that last mile problem. We all think that Ojo lead came in last night. They're supposed to buy a house by the end of the week, or they're a terrible lead. No, they're not. It's not supposed to really work that way. The speed to lead means you got to get a relationship started. You got to get a conversation going. It doesn't mean they're going to buy a house by the end of the week or they're bad. So we just follow up, literally Chris forever. Calls, text, and email.
I love it. Amy, how about you? What's like your general philosophy and your team's philosophy on follow-up?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to say forever. If I'm being honest, I wish we followed up forever and just never let any of our leads get out of our hands. But I think, just like anything with the slower market that we're in, yeah, I mean, we're kind of really focusing on the people that are wanting, like our A buyers and sellers, like who can we transact with now? And yes, we have plans and action plans set up and different things and drip campaigns using our technology to stay in contact with the Bs and the Cs and the Ds. But yeah, I mean, I would like to say, yeah, sure, they're in our system forever and hopefully they're on some sort of a touch, but I'm sure we could improve on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amy, I didn't say we didn't lose opportunities. But I promise you, we're as good at that as anybody, but we just keep after them forever.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna squeeze in one more question. Call recordings. Are you guys using them, and if so, how?
Yes,
I
for
put
sure.
some of them. Actually, Emma really helped me with this in that training program. If you look at that spreadsheet, I think it's noted on there. I hope it is. I'm not going to look right now, but we have recordings in that train. They have to listen to. It was some from you guys sent because I didn't have a library of good ones at the moment. I wanted that, but I'm now adding more. Like one of my guys, Adam, had a couple pretty good ones recently that I plugged in there too. So part of that training is having to listen to them, and I certainly do, and then send individual ones to the agents.
Love it. Amy?
Yeah, for sure. We use our monthly call time with Emily to go over that so she can share good ones with our team and kind of what to do. And what I like about it from a team lead perspective is I just had a call with Emily this week and we listened to one and she said, hey, like Tommy had this one, but they he said, his notes said that they were exclusively working with another agent, but what that allowed us to do was kind of go back to concierge and what did the client tell concierge when the call first came in? And here there was a disconnect there. So I love that because always trying to improve the process and go back and go, okay, what do we need to work on at the very beginning to make sure that you guys are transferring to us people who are not already working with an agent. So I love that perspective inside of it too.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I hope everyone's leveraging the call recordings. I can't think of a better training, better thing to use for training. Amy, Eric, thank you guys for taking the time to do this. We know you're busy running those teams. You're in there with your team members, helping them be successful. We got Southwest Ohio. We got Canton, Akron, Ohio. So anyone that has referrals for Ohio, those two parts of the state, we got covered. All right, Jeremiah, I'm gonna turn it back to you if you're still here.
I'm still here. That was great. Thanks y'all for doing that. I've got some notes here. I'm about to walk next door and share them with my team. They have the benefit of proximity today. But that was amazing. I always learn a lot. I appreciate you all taking time to share with us today. For the rest of you here, give these folks some love. They're taking their time, their energy, use the reactions, emojis, thumbs up, do something. I see Gary Grossman clapping, giving you a thumbs up. That's amazing. Thank you. So just, you can see there you go. Look at all those hearts. That's amazing. Y'all are very appreciated. Happy Valentine's Day, our Ojo Movoto friends and family. As promised, we will continue to talk about Movoto more. You will see a transition to our tools getting rebranded as Movoto. The whole reason for that is consumers are on Movoto.com. We want your agents to be thinking, oh yeah, they came from Movoto. Consumers don't really interface with Ojo, agents do, so we're just trying to get a little more congruency. So know that's coming. Get in the Facebook group, comment on that thing to win some merch. We'll send out an email to let you know who successfully got the most people on this call and when your cornucopia of merch is coming. We appreciate you all. We have some great masterclass content coming up. We have some cool new releases and products coming out here in the next couple weeks and months. So stay tuned, keep cranking. Feels like the market's loosening up. Super Bowl's behind us. So this is our opportunity to triple down on activities and make it happen. So thank you all very much. Signing off.
Thanks all.